The Milwaukee Bucks, they have Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez, both under contract, both extension eligible. I would imagine that if Middleton is willing to take an extension, they probably do it. I guess it's possible they could look into like a 1-year extension for Brook Lopez. But to me, this is all about like accentuating your core if you're the Bucks and just hoping that you're healthy next year for the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's much to talk about with them. I think they bring back, obviously, the primary core. I don't think there's a lot of wiggle room to do much. They're my pick if everybody's healthy to win it all next year. And I mean, for them, they got the 24th pick. I would go straight upside with that. I wouldn't, if I were them, I wouldn't. I guess this is where it gets tricky. If you could flip that into a ready now player to add to your rotation, it makes sense. But I also think if I were Milwaukee, I would just take a high swing on a guy just in case, like a kind of like a Warriors situation. Obviously, they're not getting as high a picks, but you maybe hope that this guy is better quicker than you think, or you have just some type of like light down the road.
So what I would do if I was them, I think that the Magic would like to move into the first round using 32 and 35. If I'm the Bucks, I would rather have 32 and 35 than 24. I would move 24 for 32 and 35, get 2 swings at guys that, frankly, for me are in the same tier. Like for Orlando, they have so many young guys. Consolidating 32 and 35 into one young guy that they really like, or maybe like a little bit more, plus getting the extra year of team control is a little bit more valuable for them than 32 and 35 are. For the Bucks, having 2 swings at potential, minimum level players, rookie minimum level players, where that saves them quite a bit of tax money. Plus you get 2 swings on potential rotation players down the road. I think that's actually a really valuable thing for Milwaukee. And that's what I would do if I was them on draft night.
If you're John Horst and the Pistons call and offer you 36 and Kelly Olynyk, who has a non-guaranteed deal starting next year, that if he's not on for a certain day, I think he's only owed like $3 million or something like that for 24 and whoever gets you to the cap space you need to get there. Would you do that? Does Kelly Olynyk interest you?
A little bit because of the shooting.
That's what I'm saying. I think it makes sense.
Probably.
Or would you rather have 32 and 35?
I think I'd rather have 32 and 35.
Fair.
I think I would rather have 32 and 35. Just given that Kelly is expensive still, if you're keeping him. Yeah. So, it's not a bad idea though. Like that's not like a crazy plan, I don't think. In terms of their other guys, I believe Pat Connaughton opted into his player option, which surprised me.
Shocked.
Yeah. So that's going to save Milwaukee money. Bobby Portis, I would imagine, is going to get some pretty real money. He can sign a deal up to $11 million a year. I would think that I think it's like a 4-year, $55 million deal. Maybe you do 3 years, 3 years, 40 or whatever the number is, 3 years, 41 or something. And you go from there. But he should get real money at this point. In general, I'm just looking to add like one more ball handler. I'm looking to add just a little bit more shooting and defense. And, I'm using 24 in the best way I can to maybe try and get a couple of swings on young guys, or just one swing on a young guy. I think that their offseason is very simple at the end of the day.
I'm with you. That tends to be how it is when you're right there for the title race. I don't think they need to get crazy.